This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Makakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawada from the Men of Valor campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth, and Lord willing, that can be edifying. And I have this article right here from Zero Hedge, and man, it's a dope article. It says the era of cheap food and cheap gasoline is over. And of course, I started with 2nd Esdras 16th chapter. All right, going into the victuals being so good, cheap upon earth. Goods, services, cost of living overall being low. You'll hear a lot of people complaining about inflation, wishing for cheap gas, cheap rent, and cheap food again. But all right, those times are over, man. Okay. See, you people are about to be judged for your wickedness. You're going to be judged and visited by the Lord of hosts. Okay. And you can't say you weren't warned. He said he sent his men to reprove 2/3 of our people, but they didn't want to hearken. They didn't want to listen. Now, the Lord's going to put his proverbial foot in their ass, and then they're going to want to get right. Then they're going to want to inquire. But by then, it's going to be too late for them. All right? Hey, the mass majority of you people here in America, Babylon the Great, all right, who live in such great pride, all right, you're about to be humbled, man. All right, you about to catch it. And it's been a long time coming, but y'all about to get it, man. All right. You about to be facing rolling blackouts this winter as well. You're going to be facing energy crisis, just like they're doing over in the UK. Okay. A global famine is on the horizon. All right. You about to be losing your jobs out here. Overall, your cost of living is about to go up. Your way of life is about to be drastically changed and shifted. We sound like broken records, but hey, we must prophesy against Babylon the Great and the inhabitants thereof, man. But ZeroHedge.com, it says the era of cheap food and cheap gasoline is over. It says all of our lifestyles are about to change in a major way, but the vast majority of the population still does not understand what is coming. Throughout our entire lives, we have always been able to depend on a couple of things. There would always be cheap gasoline to fuel our vehicles, and there would always be mountains of cheap food at the grocery store. No matter who was in the White House and no matter what else was going on in the world, those two things always remained the same. Unfortunately, those days are now over, and they aren't coming back. Just like I read in 2nd Esdras 16. Let's read it again. And actually, let's start up a little bit. Salakia. Let's start at the 17th verse. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? All right, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. This is just the beginning, man. It's about to get a whole hell of a lot worse, man. All right, this time that we're entering into, as we say over and over and over through the Spirit, is going to be a time like none else that has ever been on the face of the earth, man. All right, no matter, you go to look at slavery, the different lynchings. You can look at 70 AD. You can look at how we were catching hell under the Greeks, so-called Greeks. All right, what we're about to enter into is about to far surpass any of that. Okay, it says the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Not a time of celebration, not a time of mirth. All right, you people about to catch it, man. You about to be in pains. You're about to be in, calamities are going to come upon you, and hey, enjoy your time now. These people, they're so immersed in football and basketball and the cares of this life and shit. That's all they worried about. They're not worried about how they're going to be able to eat during the winter, in which, hey, we're not either. But see, we trust on the power that's bringing these things upon the earth, man, and trust that the Lord is going to have mercy upon us and allow us to eat in those days. All right, we're showing our faith by our works. What are you people doing? out here living godlessly. All right, and the latter end of it is, hey, you people gonna fucking die, man. Verse 18 again, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. Hey, those wars are coming too. World War III is, hey, we're in World War III, man. All right, the missiles ain't dropped yet, but best believe we're in World War III. It says, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Verse 19, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Right, the Lord sends these things so that what you can, basically consider your ways and repent. Scourges for amendment. Get right. Verse 20 it says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So they're not, even though the shit happens to them. A big example of that happened recently is the whole pandemic. Everybody being sent into their homes. They canceled sports. You had to stand 6 feet apart. You had to wear masks and shit. And the Lord allowed Esau to send that, and it was supposed to be a wake-up call to our people. But Esau opened everything back up, and these people are more wicked than they have ever been, man. All right, they did not turn from their wickedness. Verse 21, and this is what I started out with. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth. Your cheap gas, your cheap food, your cheap rent. Right? It says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. All right, you thought you were good. You thought these days were here to stay. You thought you think in your mind that America will never fall as well. It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. You people gonna starve, man. Verse 22, it says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. All right, to perish of famine means what? You're going to die from starvation. You're not going to have any food. It says, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right, the Lord got it out for most of you people. So going back to this article, it's on time, man, and it's on point. It says, we have entered the greatest energy crisis that any of us have ever experienced, and it isn't going to go away anytime soon. Says, so you might as well get used to higher gas prices. Earlier this month, brand new all-time record highs were set all over Southern California. You got Los Angeles, Long Beach, $6.46, record high. Orange County, you see it. Ventura County, Riverside County, San Bernardino, it's like, how you say that? Bernardino County, all $6 gas, man. It's going to hit $10 gas, It's going to keep going up. It says, but that isn't the real problem. The real problem is with natural gas. Thanks to the war in Ukraine, supplies of natural gas in Europe have become extremely tight, and this has pushed prices into the stratosphere. Needless to say, this is going to greatly affect food productions in the months ahead. According to Bloomberg, over 2/3 of all fertilizer production capacity in Europe has already been shut down due to soaring natural gas costs. Right? It's going to cause you people to fucking starve, man. All right, there's going to be mass shortages of food. It says Europe's fertilizer crunch is deepening, with more than 2/3 of population capacity halted by soaring gas costs, threatening farmers and consumers far beyond the region's borders. It says this is an absolutely massive story, but hardly anyone in the United States is covering it. Why? Because they're in the spirit of mirth. All right, it's better to go to the house of mourning than the house of feasting, man. And these people are in the house of feasting right now. That's why that day and this time is going to come upon them as a thief, and they're going to catch, most of them are going to be caught with their pants down, man. They're not going to know what to do. It says global fertilizer production is going to be greatly reduced, and that is going to have very serious implications for agricultural production all over the world, meaning what? It's going to lead to famine. It says nitrogen plant shutdowns in Europe are not simply a problem in Europe. She said reduced supply on the scale seen this week not only raises the marginal cost of production of nitrogen fertilizers, but will also tighten the global market, putting pressure on plant nutrients availability in Europe and beyond. We're already seeing prices elsewhere rise again. The price of the common nitrogen fertilizer, urea, in New Orleans, rose over 20% in weekly prices Friday. Damn. It says the most since March, a few weeks after the war began, according to Green Markets. It says, I know that fertilizer may not be the most exciting topic for a lot of people, but the truth is that approximately half the global population would starve if we didn't have any. It says, in fact, it's estimated that nitrogen fertilizer now supports approximately half of the global population. In other words, Fritz Haber and Carl Bosch, the pioneers of the technological breakthrough, are estimated to have enabled the lives of several billion people who otherwise would have died prematurely or never been born at all. That's whatever. But this whole fertilizer thing, man, because of natural gas prices going up, you think just because gas ain't really went up in your area or went back down, you think that, oh, everything's all good. Well, this is affecting your food, man. Not only is the price of food is going to skyrocket because it's going to be such short supply and such high demand driving the price up, but also there's going to be a shortage of it altogether, man. There's a possibility of it not being able to even get to you. It says the only way we can even come close to feeding everyone on the planet is by using vast quantities of fertilizer. But now fertilizer plants all over Europe are being forced to shut down because of the price of natural gas. As long as this global energy crisis persists, the global food crisis will also persist. Russia is normally the largest exporter of natural gas in the entire world, and an end to the war in Ukraine would go a long way toward solving our current issues. But see, that's not going to happen. See, they're seeking peace, all right, but there shall be none. It says, but there isn't going to be an end to the war in Ukraine. That's right. Once again, Western leaders are assuring us that the war will not end until Russia is forced out of every inch of Ukrainian territory. This includes Donetsk, Luhansk, and Crimea. Of course, the Russians will use tactical nukes long before we even get to that point in escalation in global conflict, man. The Lord said all these things will happen. Wars, rumors of wars, famine, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places. These are all times of the end, man. Okay? And it says the end is not yet, but hey, we're damn close, man. It says, as it currently stands, there is no off-ramp for this war. Instead, we are simply counting down the days until it goes nuclear. And that's good for us, man. We know the MOTB, the charagma, has to be pushed throughout the world. All right, to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, the hour of temptation is going to come upon all of us, but hey, those nukes are going to fly soon enough, man. All right, and we're hastening into that because, hey, that's the end of Esau's world and the beginning of Jacob's, man, to come. So let's finish off with this. Now, that's a hell of an article. It says Isaiah chapter 24. It says verse, man. I'm starting at verse 5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. And those that are all merry-hearted, they're in the last couple of years, you coming into these so-called holiday seasons. The last couple of years, man, hey, you could tell the mirth is being stripped from this place. It's almost like these people are putting on a front. Okay, so we know that, hey, that's fading out. Verse 8, it says, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the heart ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. That's what Babylon stands for, confusion. This is that city of confusion, and it's being broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone, and that's what's coming very soon. All right, yeah, they got that bread and circus going on for all you people, to not see the fall of New Rome, so to speak. All right, but soon you're going to be left with, just the bare reality. Okay, verse 12, it said, and the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. All right. You know, hey, that city of confusion is being broken down. You people about to starve. This is the end of cheap gas, of cheap food, of cheap rent. You know, hey, you people about to catch it. And it's beautiful to see, man. As for us, we're going to trust upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for our wants and needs. Okay? The Lord said, seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So we don't worry like you people are about to worry. We're not going to struggle like you people are going to struggle. Yeah, we may lose things, all right, but whatever we lose on this side, you know, the Lord has promised us 100-fold to those that follow Yahweh in the regeneration, man. You know, when the kingdom is established, Lord willing, we endure to the end, and we'll receive it back 100-fold, man. That's our hope. That's what we are pushing for, man. Damn the things of this world. We're ready for all this shit to shut down, man, and it's shutting down. All right, it's about to be a hell of a winter, man. All right, so Lord willing, you know, the Lord protects his elect. But I wanted to share this information. Let me go back to the top. You know, once again, it says the era of cheap food and cheap gasoline is over. All right, so Lord willing is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.